Gentlemen, how's it going? I hope you guys have been doing outstanding. I am here on a gorgeous South Texas day, enjoying the weekend, and I thought, man, it's a beautiful day outside, but not all the days have been this nice. We just experienced probably the worst freeze in over a century here in South Texas, in Texas pretty much as a whole. And so it got me thinking, how prepared am I? Like, truly, how prepared am I? So I decided in the next couple of videos, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about just being prepared, being ready for whatever comes your way. And so I figured I'd just start right here, right at the back of my truck. And I decided to come out to the lake so that way we could do some filming out here in the field, because chances are, if you're stuck, it's probably out when you're not home. So let's get into it. Gentlemen, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. This is Extraordinary Men. Today, we're talking about being prepared. We're talking about keeping your vehicle prepared for any type of emergency. I'm talking like everything. Nuclear holocaust, zombie apocalypse, covering it all. Like, are you really ready for a nuclear holocaust? Like, I don't know. So in my previous video, I talked about this. This is my mini EDC truck toolkit, right? And I really like this thing for the day-to-day uses and for the small jobs that come across. But they're not all small jobs, right? Like, they get pretty big. And so this just won't cut it when it comes to some of the larger things. I also keep this first aid kit in the truck, in the glove box. This is where I have my larger tools, my truck items. So let's get into it. Okay, so on top of the box I keep this moving blanket, and really I keep this inside the truck. I don't keep it on my box just because it's fabric and I don't have the space in there for it. So I keep it inside the truck, and that's where it normally lives. So starting on top, I have my old Navy Gore-Tex jacket. This thing is pretty nice. It does block the rain really well, and I don't use it other than just keeping it back here in the truck. I got a small mechanic set. This is just a basic mechanic set, right? Like, you're not going to go and do a complete overhaul of a truck, but in a pinch, if you need something, this should help knock out any of those small items. Knee pads. Like, how often when are you on good solid terrain where it's comfortable, right? Like, a lot of times you're gonna, if you're having to maybe change a tire, do truck repairs, you're gonna be on a place that's not comfortable. So I have some really cheap knee pads here. They should be able to last me for changing a tire, for getting under the truck, something like that. Just some knee pads, overall great thing to have to just to keep you working safely. Shop towels. I think we all know what shop towels are. This is a extra bag that I have. It can double as a small backpack. I have some miscellaneous items in here I'm going to get to in just a second, but I have this in there as well. Alright, so these are some of the hand tools that I'm going to carry. I got a DeWalt hatchet. I really like this hatchet. It's got an all metal frame on it, and it's actually pretty sharp right out of the box, which is rare, because a lot of hatchets, you know, they come with a dull blade, and this one's got this little sheath that you can attach to a belt. I'm not going to do that, but it does have that. So a DeWalt hatchet. I have this small saw. Comes in handy if you ever need to cut down trees to clear a path to get out of the way. You need to cut down pieces of wood to make a makeshift shelter. A lot of good uses for just a simple saw. This guy right here is a 4-pound hammer, right? Sometimes you just need to bang on something really hard, and this will get the job done. Bolt cutters. Now, I do not condone anything illegal, gentlemen. Don't do it. It's not worth it. But in a survival situation, right, an emergency situation, don't let a lock stop you from being safe, from getting to a safe spot, or you know, having to get yourself or a family member out of a tricky situation. Having a pair of bolt cutters is just really nice to have for those emergency situations. So bolt cutters. Now I have this small pry bar. Now I've wrapped this pry bar myself in paracord. Okay, and I even included a handle on it so that I can put it on my hand. I can hold it, right, and then I can break, I can pry. A lot of uses for a simple, very small, simple pry bar like this. And I have the extra paracord that I have lanyarded on too here. Really nice to have. I would highly recommend doing the paracord wrap around it. It makes it so much nicer to use, and it gives you so much more to grip as well. And for my larger tools, I got a 42-inch pry bar here. It's really nice to have a large pry bar on hand because it gives you leverage, right, on something that you need to pry on. If there's a fire, something burning, you can have that extra length to grab something, and it won't, you can stay away from the heat. A lot of uses for just a standard pry bar, and it's not too expensive either. I think this one was around $20 at Lowe's. 42-inch pry bar, you can't beat it. Good tool to have, and when you need it and you don't have it, that sucks. And then I have my old trusty shovel. I have used this thing so many times. It's come in handy. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've used this small little guy. Severely underrated, I think. Having a shovel is just fantastic. If you're out camping, you have a fire going, you need to put out the fire, scoop some dirt up, and then chunk it on with the shovel. Works great. Now I also have this folding shovel in here. This is kind of just for backup, but it's nice to have just a small little guy that can fold out and collapse, just to give you another option. I've used this. This thing is not the most durable thing in the world, but it works, and so I keep this as just a spare. Okay, so let's kind of get into some other things, some like auto type of related, maybe pulling, hauling, stuff like that. I keep a very small box of fasteners. This has got some 1 1/4 screws, 2-inch screws, nails, and some flathead screws right here. This is just a general, things to have on hand in case you need them. A couple of funnels, right? I got a small long neck funnel. This is good for filling your oil, and then a larger funnel, good for draining, to catch. It works pretty well. So I do keep 2 of them on hand. A large toe strap. Gentlemen, do not play around with getting cheap little toe straps. Get a good one that's you're gonna really be able to pull on. The next thing you want is to be stuck and have this cheap little nylon toe strap that just breaks right as you're pulling something out. So I keep this really huge large one, and it's just really nice. I have peace of mind knowing that I can pull myself out with this guy. Additionally is a chain. Now this chain, I have it in 2 pieces, okay, and I also have a quick release D-ring attached to it. And so what I like about this is that I can wrap this around whatever I need to, and then I have a longer 4-foot right here that is good to have. Having a solid chain on hand is so important to have in an emergency kit, or just your overall truck situation, along with some cordage. This is just some line. And when it comes to maybe tying things down on the truck bed, that you run out of ratchet straps, this comes in great for that. Jumper cables. No truck kit, you can't even start a truck kit unless you got jumper cables, right? Like that's just basic. You got to have it. So jumper cables. This small flashlight. You know what? This flashlight was a toy that I got from my daughter. I think she put this in here. So just a small flashlight. High visibility vest. You're working out in the rain. It's dark. You want to be able to be seen, not get hit. Very important. Couple clamps. Really nice. These are actually safety clamps, and the vests that they were tied to were getting thrown away, so I managed to get both of the locks from there. And these attached I can use with either the cordage, the chain, whatever I need to, and it makes for really good quick release hooks that I can attach and disassemble from all kinds of different situations. Really handy. I have used these multiple times in the past before, and I just love having them. A little bit of WD-40, duct tape, a small lighter. This is basic lighter. a contractor grade trash bag. This is great for cleaning up, survival situation. There's so many uses to use a trash bag for. You gotta have one in your bag. Just makes sense. Small rag, extra ratchet straps on hand. Gentlemen, if you're towing something, you're hauling something in the back of your truck, tie it down. The other day, a guy was driving and he had his whole house packed in the back of his van and the back of his truck. And as he's driving, the couch just flies right off, right? Like he's under the impression that the weight of the couch was going to hold, but it didn't. It just flew right off, could have killed somebody. And so make sure you're tying whatever you need down in the back of your truck. Fix it flat. Fix it flat is not a end all be all. There's so many things that this thing can do, but there's some things that it can't do. This is going to help for you to repair, make a quick patch job on a tire, and then get to a spot that you can be safe, that you can do a repair on your vehicle. But quick fix it flat, really nice to have, but it does have some limitations. Okay, so in my makeshift little hobo bag here, I keep some essentials that I'm gonna need. So I do have an extra bag with a Ziploc bag, and this is just to gather things that I might want to collect. It's handy for collecting maybe fire starter, things like that. Just an extra bag. Let me just dump this whole thing out right here. So small pry bar, some extra gloves, some extra underwears, some shirts, socks, extra pair of changing clothes, some utensils, knife, fork, and spoon, and I have my large hunting knife that I keep in there. This is a really nice one, very robust, full tang, great for hunting, great for splitting. Well, not necessarily splitting wood, but it's a really nice full tang knife. Extra beanie and some heavier gloves. These heavier gloves are going to be nice to keep your hands warm and when it's cold out, and then extra beanie also when it's cold out. So let's touch on some maintenance, keeping your tools looking in good shape. So this guy I've had in the back for a while, and you can tell that it's rusted, right? And that's because as dry as this thing is, it's still exposed to humidity, still exposed to moisture, and these things rust, right? So what I like to do, which I didn't do on this guy, but what I do like to do is just to take your shop towel, take a shop rag just like so, grab some of this all-purpose grease. All-purpose grease, like I said, got a lot of uses, including this one, and I like to put just a dab on here. And then what I'll do, especially when it comes to like your saws and your blades, you want to make sure that these things don't rust, and they rust so easily. So throw some grease on there, and I just like to wipe it on my blades and with a shop towel, get that all around. This is not going to affect the performance of the saw by any means. It's just going to keep your saw from rusting, which is super important. You don't want a rusty saw. You don't want to come into this thing 6 months from now and then the next thing you know, it's all rusted. Not good. Not good. So it just has a very, very thin layer of grease on it now. Same thing on the hatchet. I don't want this hatchet head to be rusting on me, so I'm just going to throw a layer of grease on there. Keep this bad boy from rusting up on me. You got to remember, the harder the metal is, the more prone it's going to be to rusting. Just like that, just got a thin layer of grease on it. You can feel it's kind of oily. That's exactly how you want it. Not too much, not too little. Good to go. Now it's going to stay nice and lubricated, prevent from any rusting. Anyways, that's all I got for you gentlemen today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I've given you some ideas, some tips to kind of make you more prepared. And if there's anything you took away from this video, I hope it's just one thing, which is being more prepared as best as you possibly can. If there's anything 2020 has taught us, is that you don't want to be caught pants down, toilet paperless, right? And here's the other thing, is that I'm not a professional, but chances are neither are you. And these situations do not care whether you're a professional or not. You're still going to have to handle them the same way, and you still got to be able to make not only you, but your family safe. So I hope this gives you something to think about, something to kind of wrap your mind around, especially on nice days like this one when it's gorgeous outside. This is the time when you want to make sure that you're prepared, not when you're actually in an emergency. Anyways, that's all I got for you gentlemen today. Remember, being extraordinary is a journey, not a destination. Till next time, I'll see you soon.